Welcome to the Genuine Driven Women podcast, the show where we guide women to reveal their strengths so they believe and can achieve their desired greatness. This is episode 4, and I am Tammy along with our co-host Adelaida.
Hi everyone.
Today we are going to talk to you about how to make your own personal time machine.
Yes, you do have a crystal ball, and yes, you can see into the future with this amazing tool.
It is called the Pre-mortem technique. The Pre-mortem technique was developed by Gary Klein, and you can read all about it in his book called The Power of Intuition. And the name may not be as interesting as a literal time machine, but if you use it, you will find that you will start to have superpowers in the direction of your life, your goals, or any project you are leading.
This tool is very versatile and can be used for any project, big or small, planning your own life, to find the right steps to success, and to find the pitfalls or risks that need to be addressed.
And depending on how you are using it, you can do this exercise with a project team, your family, your spouse or partner, or even just with yourself.
There are also 2 ways to see into the future, through a disaster lens or through the delight lens.
Let's start with a major disaster exercise. To do this exercise, you need to get yourself and the group or people you plan to lead through this exercise into a quiet area, somewhere where you won't be bothered. You will need some simple materials like clean paper or sticky notes and a whiteboard or markers.
The second step is to tell the story. If you are using this tool to plan your future life, the second step is to tell a story or imagine the story if you are alone. If you are using the tool to plan your future life, you can pick a time in the future when you are going to picture yourself. If you are using this for a project, focus on the finished project.
Now here's the fun part. When you have that vision in your head, your finished project or yourself in the future, sit there and begin to imagine. Really picture yourself there. Everything has gone horribly wrong. You have been fired from your job. You have no money. Your husband left you. Your kids hate you. If it is a project, imagine that you were pulled as a project manager because everything went wrong. Costs were running out of control. There was no way to meet the schedule, and nothing was performing the way it should be. Really focus on this as if it were true, as if it actually happened. Spend 5 to 10 minutes truly contemplating this dreadful situation. This is the kind of mess that is absolutely humiliating. Everything that can go wrong did go wrong.
After you think, what in the world could have caused this mess? Take a few minutes and think about why the situation occurred.
So if you're in a group, use the sticky notes and have everyone write down everything that could have caused this problem. If you are alone, brainstorming about your life, then you can list as fast as you can every single thing you believe may have caused this mess in your personal life or career to go bad. List even the silly things. Just list it all. Take about 5 minutes for this part of the exercise.
And after this, if this is a group exercise, have everyone place their stickies on the board.
Once you've gathered all the responses, prioritize this list. These become the risks that need to be mitigated in order to achieve your goal. Focus on the highest priority risks first, then work on plans to mitigate the others. So it's basically, if you are trying to do something specific like build a system, if you think of all the things that went wrong, then you will now have a list of things like we ran out of funding, we didn't have our requirements in order. And those things are the things that you need to come up with mitigations to solve.
And finally, revisit your list as part of your goal review process to make sure you are on track and that you are accounting for the risks you have identified.
Now that we have gone through the process, let's think of some examples so we can demonstrate how this goes.
First, I like to start off with something that could happen to me or someone else who's in college. Let's say you're wanting to graduate, and that's like your 4-year goal. In 4 years, I'm going to graduate. And what are the steps that now, I'm not graduating? What are the steps that could happen?
So you're basically trying to say, if your goal is to graduate in 4 years, now here we are 4 years later, and let's picture how everything went wrong.
Yes. So starting off, I signed up for my classes, but on the first day of class.
Wait, no, we had to picture how everything, like what you had to fast forward to the future. Okay, so
Okay.
so let's picture like 4 years from now, everything went wrong. What does it look like?
So 4 years from now, everything's wrong. I don't have a job. I'm living on the streets.
Do you have a college degree?
I don't. I definitely do not have a college degree. Not at all.
We look at your transcripts, all F.
All Fs. And if you asked any teachers if they knew about me, they have no idea who I am.
And you have, at that point, some student loans when you had a plan to have no student loans.
Yes.
And no degree and no job. This is horrible.
It is horrible. What a disaster.
So let's think to ourselves how this could have happened. What could have caused this mess?
Different things could have caused this. So one being I never showed up to class, and maybe one day I decided not to go once, and then from there I decided, oh well, one day is not bad. Well, I could miss another day.
And then maybe you went to a frat party.
Yes, and then maybe I went to a fraternity party and drank too much that night, and
the next day you were like, nope, not going to class.
Yeah,
again.
I had a bad hangover, and I was like, oh no, gotta sleep some more. I gotta sleep.
And then you tried to take a test, but you hadn't been to class.
And then I decided to skip the test because I had no idea what we were learning. So why would I take the test if I had no idea what we were learning about?
And then if you don't take the test, then you didn't drop the class because you were so busy.
Yeah, and it was too late to drop the class.
Oh, yeah, too late to drop the class.
So now I couldn't withdraw from the class. I couldn't drop out. I was stuck in that class.
But then after a period of time, you're like, maybe I'll just not go to college and maybe I'll just get a job.
Yeah.
But with this kind of lifestyle, it also doesn't really make for a great resume.
No, it doesn't.
And while I do believe people can get jobs without college, that's a separate talk. In this situation, the same things that could cause you to fail in college could cause you to fail in the workforce.
Yes, yes.
So, okay, those are some good examples. So what can we do to improve those things? Like, for instance, not going to class. What could you change to get yourself to class on time?
I could set an alarm clock to make sure I woke up.
That's good.
I could not go to that fraternity party.
So then you're clear-eyed and sleep well and wake up fine.
Yep. And then I could make sure that continuously happens to where I am going to class every single day instead of the night before, staying up way too late.
Mm-hmm. Oh, then when the test comes, you are not afraid of the test because
I've been studying
and you're prepared.
And I'm prepared because I've been going to class. So I go to the test.
And you pass the test.
And I pass the test.
Because you were studying.
Yes.
And you've been going to class.
Yes. And then pretty soon that habit continues to where now I have a 4-year degree.
Yes.
I've been going to classes continuously and passing all the classes.
Mm-hmm. Excellent. So that's just to give you an idea to everybody how that kind of goes. I mean, we did a very fast version. You can do a very serious version where you sit down and actually write down all of the things that could go wrong and then kind of prioritize the things that you to the most important things that could go wrong, and then you make a specific plan to keep those things from happening in the future.
Yes, and that's just one for college. There's also like personal goals. So one could be running a marathon.
Yeah, like if you're running a marathon, some things that could go wrong. You make a plan to run a marathon. You have a goal to run a marathon in 6 months.
Yes.
So 6 months from now, what went wrong?
What went wrong? So 6 months from now, so that the day of the race, I wasn't there. I was laying on my couch.
But you were going to run a marathon.
I don't. And see, that's what I'm saying. I don't know. And I ended up that day.
Wait, did you sign up for the marathon?
I did.
And paid your money?
I did pay my money.
Yep. And then, but what happened? What went wrong? Let's see. You downloaded you made a plan that you were going to start running.
Yes. And so
the first day?
Yeah, I decided to. So the first day I downloaded an application on your phone, and
it said run 1 mile.
And it said, yeah, only 1 mile, just run that mile. And it's like,
1 mile, I can do that. I'll wait till tomorrow.
Exactly. And then I'll run 2 miles tomorrow to make up for that 1 mile. But then
since you didn't run 1 mile, now you don't feel like running 2 miand
Yeah, and so instead I decided to lay on the couch and just eat potatoes or
and mashed potatoes with gravy.
And instead, I decided to sit on the couch and eat potato chips.
And then After you didn't do that, then there was one of your friends was going to run with you, but now they kept practicing, but now you aren't equal to them now. And so they
No.
keep on practicing without you.
Yeah. And now it's a little too late to be, to try to catch up to them. And so
Even though that's probably not true, but that's what you told yourself.
that's what it's in your head,
Mm-hmm.
And
then the day of the race comes and you're supposed to run 26.2 miles,
and
but
instead you're on the couch.
you haven't even run one yet.
Yeah, not even 1 mile. Because you're on the couch watching TV or what.
So yeah, that's kind of an extreme example, but so what could you have done differently? You download your app,
Download the app, ran that first mile the first day, and continued
to follow the plan.
Follow the plan every single day.
Maybe you go to some clinics where they teach you good eating and some strategies to get through a marathon.
Yes.
Because there's definite strategies for that.
Mm-hmm.
And you follow those. You go running with your friend. You each keep each other motivated. And you eat your healthy, lean diet while you're exercising and increasing your mileage. And come race day, you're there.
Yep.
And at the end, you get your finishing medal.
Woo!
It can also be done for work projects, which we won't go into great detail right now, but we've done this at my work before, where even if you're developing a major system or computer system, you can use this and come up with cost, schedule, and performance type risks as well. And you just do the very same thing. What could we what if everything went wrong? What does that look like? And just capture it the same way we described. Now let's have some fun dreaming with the delight exercise. This is my favorite part. Now that you've gone through the disaster pre-mortem process, you can try the delight pre-mortem technique. In this method, you do the exact same steps, except instead of imagining everything went wrong, imagine that everything went perfectly well, that your wildest dreams came true, and you're living the life you have always imagined. Put yourself in a place 5 to 10 years from now and explain what an amazing life you're living. Make it as detailed as you possibly can. Include career, family, hobbies, home, etc. If you're using this tool for a project of some type, imagine that everything went better than you could have dreamed. You finished below cost, faster than expected, and you were able to get maximum capability built into the project.
So the first step, same as the disaster exercise, seclude yourself or the group you plan to lead through this exercise. You will need some simple materials, some clean paper or sticky notes, a whiteboard, and markers.
Then tell this story or imagine this story if you're alone. And if you're using this tool to plan your future life, you can pick a time in the future when you're going to picture yourself. If you're using this for a project, focus on the finished version of the product.
Begin to imagine. This is the amazing alternate future where everyone is delighted with your project or where you are delighted with your own life.
Think, wow, this is so amazing. Here are all the things that would have gone right for this amazing scenario to have happened. Take a few minutes to really focus on how you got to such an awesome place.
Then brainstorm all of the things that must have went right. If it is a group, have them write on stickies. And if you are doing this exercise alone, capture it all on a sheet of paper.
If this is a group exercise, have everyone then place their stickies on the board.
Prioritize the list. These become some of the key steps you need to complete in order to achieve your goal. Focus on the highest priority tasks first, as they should be the ones that will make the biggest impact on your success.
And then revisit your list as part of your goal review process each week or month or as appropriate to make sure you are on the right track. We can use the same scenario for college, graduating from college.
Exactly, yes. So your same goal is you want to graduate from a 4-year university, and
so we got to picture ourselves 4 years from now.
So 4 years from now, you graduated with a 4.0.
Ooh, yes.
Yeah, GPA. You have a job like lined up. As soon as you graduated, you have a job now you're going to.
Oh, and we should probably clarify. You graduated with a 4-year degree with a 4.0 grade point average with the degree you planned on getting.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So it's not like if you were planning on getting an engineering degree that now instead you got a
business degree.
Right. Or I don't know, I can't think. Yeah, I was trying to think liberal arts.
Yeah, liberal arts, yes.
Which is fine. People with I have a liberal arts degree way back in my past. They're very interesting people to talk to. So yeah, you graduated with a degree you planned on graduating with. And how did this happen?
The very first day, You went to class. You got all the classes you wanted. You went to class. You made friends. And now these friends became your study partners and, your friends.
Yeah.
They became your study partners.
Mm-hmm.
And then from there, they also became your friends that you had for your whole 4 years that you went there. So now you had this solid study group.
And there are people that you could like struggle with, challenge each other, help
Yes.
each other, do note cards back and forth.
Mm-hmm.
Say, oh, I don't understand how this program works.
Yes.
And they would help you.
Yep. And so then you spent long nights studying and you were able to understand every class that you went and took, and you got all the perfect grades. A.
Maybe, only because I've seen you in action, Adelaide, maybe you take your class and break it down into pieces and go, I need to do this homework this week. I need to write this paper this week. And you lay it out on your day timer so that you have an actual plan of how you're going to complete the work required.
Yes. Planners are very important to success.
Yes.
At least I think so.
And then even to say, oh, I have to do this many problems on this night or whatever. But I've seen you do that in action.
Yes, I still do it.
For you.
Yeah. It definitely does work for me.
Yes.
And then you took an internship over one of the summers, or even, all 4 summers. You took an internship and they loved you so much. And they said, as soon as you graduate, you'll have a job here and you'll be making, over $100K.
But you met other people because of those internships that are like competing with you to say, we will pay you more than that internship.
Yeah.
And if you come work with us, we will pay you more. And you have people actually arguing over you because they know what an amazing academic career you've had to date.
Yes. And so then here you are now, graduating with from a 4-year university, and now you're going to work for some awesome company.
Awesome. So those are some of the things that you did to get there. And basically what you have to then do is kind of prioritize that list of things and put the most important on top, or the things that, or if there's a logical order for those things to occur in, that those are the steps that you should take to get to your dream position of, in this case, graduating from college.
Yes.
So this is a really easy one because it basically the things you brainstorm actually become the plan, so it's a really useful tool. You can do the same thing for a marathon, which we kind of already talked through in the last one, which is like, let's say, download an app, follow the app, go to clinics, learn how to eat properly, strategies. I mean, those are all things you can do. It's a good example. But you can use the delight technique for any project or personal or work-related that you would like to do it on. If you conduct both of these techniques, both the disaster and the delight, at the beginning of your projects, or to focus on your life goals, you will increase your chances for success by up to 30%. This is according to research conducted in 1989 by Deborah J. Mitchell of the Wharton School and Jay Russo of Cornell University and Nancy Pennington of the University of Colorado. They specifically did research regarding the pre-mortem technique.
This is a fun way of capturing the steps toward greatness and the associated risks for any project or goal.
Successful women back in time.
In the time travel segment, each week we will give a few points about women that have accomplished a lot. We also will discuss a bit about what was happening to women during the time periods. One person we think you would like to know more about is Marie Curie. She was the first woman to win a Nobel Prize in Physics in the year 1903. She was born in 1867. She was built on a family that believed education was important, and from there she continued to grow. In 1903, her and her husband's research in radioactivity led them to a Nobel Prize in Physics, which made her the first woman to receive a Nobel Prize. She continued the studies and in 1911 won another Nobel Prize, which made her the first person to ever receive a Nobel Prize twice, which is a great feat for women. Marie studied hard, and she was recognized for all of her hard work with two Nobel Prizes, both being great leaps for women. All of her work throughout her life is very motivating. We can do anything that we put our minds to, so go out there and do what makes you happy.
Wow. She is an inspiration just to think about the time period. She won her first Nobel Prize, her second Nobel Prize before my grandpa was even born.
That's crazy.
Yeah. I'm just like, I have to connect this to things in my life.
Yes,
because
same here.
Then it helps me imagine how just wild it is compared to our time now, and then understanding, historical time frames, how
Yeah.
it was,
That was over 100 years ago.
So it's just one of those things. If she can do this, there is nothing stopping any one of you out there from doing whatever it is you're dreaming of.
Yeah.
So that's a good one out of life.
Thank you.
The motivational quote of the week.
Instead of looking at the past, I put myself ahead 20 years and try to look at what I need to do now in order to get there then. Diana Ross.
That is perfect for this one.
Yes, I chose this quote.
episode.
Yeah, I thought this would be perfect for this episode.
Yeah. I mean, there's just no way that can be bad, is projecting where you're going to be in the future and then making a plan to get there.
Yeah.
And I mean, you can look back too. And looking back, usually you miss things, or a lot of times it makes you feel sad, because people sometimes look back with happiness, but then sometimes they look back with regret. And I think that happens a lot. And I think that if you can help you look back, reflect on what has come and what you could have done better, and take clear steps to fix that, but keep looking forward and making plans. That's good. Good one.
Thank you.
Genuine Driven Women read lots of books. We'll make sure to recommend a book each week that will inspire you or help you on your journey to success. This week's book is The 5 Dysfunctions of a Team by Patrick Lencioni. If you'd like to buy this book in any format, including audiobooks, you can find the link in the show notes. This past week, I did reread The 5 Dysfunctions of a Team by Patrick Lencioni. And if you haven't read any of his books, he has a talent for turning a leadership lesson into a fable, giving you a story that is both captivating and educational. In this fable, he covers the complexity of teams, team dynamics, how they impact the organizational goals, and what can be done to optimize their performance. Throughout the story, you will learn of the 5 major dysfunctions that many teams have, why they impact the workplace, and clear, concrete steps you can take to improve them. The story is centered around a startup company that is in its second year. It is a company that is failing to thrive and is falling behind the competition. Because of this, the board has selected a new, experienced CEO. Her name is Catherine Peterson. Only her experience came from the auto industry and not from the tech world of Silicon Valley, where she now finds herself. You will start to care about the characters as you read this story. The team is made up of engineers, salespeople, marketing experts, financial directors, basically every position needed for a company to grow and succeed in the market. It's how they interact with each other and their opinions about how their areas of expertise weigh against each other that introduces the conflict. And trust me, there is conflict. Will Catherine succeed? Will she be fired? Will the company fail? Lencioni's fable will grip you from the beginning and remind all leaders and future leaders out there that it takes courage to lead your team to a place where a focus on results, accountability, commitment, conflict, and trust all exist. Do you have a goal to be an exceptional leader or an executive? Then this book is definitely one to add to your reading list. Again, click through to the show notes and you'll find the link for all formats of this book there. We genuinely want to know what you're thinking. This is the section where you ask questions, let us know what's on your mind, or just say hello. Are you driven to succeed? Then email us at genuinedrivenwomen, that's women, WOMEN, at gmail.com, or call us at 724-DRIVEN, the number 2. In other words, that's 724-374-8362, and leave us a voicemail. We will use your voicemails on a future podcast. We look forward to hearing from you. The Genuine Driven Women podcast is produced every week for your inspiration, education, and enjoyment. The show notes and so much more can be found at genuinedrivenwomen.com. Please subscribe to this show via iTunes and Stitcher to receive ongoing weekly motivation to turn your dreams into goals and to reach your version of success. We'd love for you to take a couple minutes to write a review on iTunes, which will help us to reach our goal to connect with girls, young ladies, and women who need just this kind of inspiration every week. You can also follow us on Facebook at facebook.com/genuine-driven-women. There you can join the conversation, get to know us better, and find out about all the new things that we will be announcing in the months to come. Okay, ladies, it's time to get out there and be the best you that you can be. We'll see you next week.
Thanks, everybody. Bye.